Hello, I'm Teresa.
And I'm Christian.
We are the members of the Austrian group.
We send our best wishes to our friends in Poland.
Our first topic is nutrition in developing countries. There are 800 million starving people in the world. 98% of them live in underdeveloped countries. In the sub-Sahara region, every fourth person is starving. With only 50 cents a day, we can prevent the starvation of a child.
The annually harvested amount of grain alone could feed all 7 billion people, but we feed 40% of it to animals. Common poor man's food are various peps, cassava, rice, sweet potatoes, corn, millet, insects and peanuts.
The most important fact about nutrition in developed countries is that you can get everything you need for a well-balanced diet. Compared to undeveloped countries, enough food isn't a sign of prosperity. But many people have a one-sided way of diet because of the tremendous oversupply of food. Everyone can get everything, everywhere, at any time.
The next topic are food values of professional athletes. There are many points which professional athletes need. For example, dietary supplements which are quite expensive, and they need many more proteins than non-athletes. Especially they need minerals because they are used while doing sports. Examples for minerals are calcium or sodium. There are also different kinds of vitamins which a professional athlete especially needs. For example, vitamin A, C or D. Athletes in general should have a well-balanced nutrition.
Secondly, to the nutrition of an amateur athlete. The needed energy depends on basal metabolism, the physical activity level and the increase of energy consumption after eating. A football player, for example, needs 1,350 kilocalories during a 90 minutes match. The green graph shows that the performance of an athlete increases when he decides to eat in the recommended periods, which the blue markers show.
Which nutrients does the body need to stay healthy? Our body needs about 50 nutrients to stay fit, like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals and trace elements. The human body works like a power plant, which obtains energy by burning nutrients. Half of the energy is converted into heat. The body consists of 60% of water, 17% of proteins, 17% of fat and 6% of other components. The most important energy sources are carbohydrates. They are important for the muscles, the nerves and the brain. If you don't consume enough carbohydrates, you feel tired and exhausted. Although the word fats has a bad connotation, our body actually needs them. Of course, it depends on which kind of fat is needed to protect the organs, as cell construction, material, or to take up vitamins. The next important nutrients are proteins. They build muscles, hair, skin, hormones, and immune cells. A shortage of proteins can lead to growth damage, muscular dystrophy, or a change of the blood count.
Vitamins are essential for the whole body, although it only needs a small amount of them. For example, vitamin A for the eyes, vitamin D for the bones, and vitamin K for the blood coagulation. If the blood doesn't get enough of them, this can lead to different diseases. Now something about minerals. They are like vitamins, very essential, and we also just need a small amount of them. We need them for our teeth, bones, and to regulate water resources in the body. Last but not least, there are trace elements. We only need a really small amount of them, because too much of some of these can even lead to death. Trace elements are, for example, iodine, for the thyroid and vanadium for the liver. What is malnutrition? Malnutrition is a term used to refer to any condition in which the body does not receive enough nutrients for proper function. Malnutrition may range from mild to severe and life-threatening. It can be a result of starvation in which a person has an inadequate intake of calories, or it may be related to a deficiency of one particular nutrient, for example vitamins. Malnutrition remains a significant global problem, especially in developing countries.
Malnutrition. Malnutrition shortly means insufficient or bad arranged nutrition. The consequences are general debility, tiredness, avolition, cardiac arrhythmias, and the absorption of the immune system.
The next topic is diseases related to nutrition. These diseases include mostly deficiencies or excesses in daily diet. We have prepared 3 diseases in connection with nutrition which we would like to present you. The first disease is bulimia. It starts with binge eating and goes into purging. The disease is also associated with mental problems like depressions or drug problems.
The second disease we've chosen is hypertension, commonly called high blood pressure. Certain food like fried products, butter, salty snacks, and so on can increase your blood pressure. So you have to avoid this sort of nutrition. The next and last disease is diabetes mellitus. There are 2 different types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. In these cases, the body can only produce little or no insulin.
Next, obesity due to binge eating. What is binge eating? Binge eating disorder is characterized by compulsive overeating in which people consume huge amounts of food while feeling out of control and powerless to stop. The symptoms of binge eating disorder usually begin in late adolescence or early adulthood, often after a major diet. A binge eating episode typically lasts around 2 hours, but some people binge on and off all day long. Binge eaters often eat even when they're not hungry and continue eating long after they're full. They may also gorge themselves as fast as they can while barely registering what they're eating or tasting.
The key features of binge eating disorder are frequent episodes of uncontrollable binge eating, feeling extremely distressed or upset during or after binging. Unlike bulimia, there are no regular attempts to make up for the binges through vomiting, fasting, or over-exercising. People with binge eating disorder struggle with feelings of guilt, disgust, and depression. They worry about what the compulsive eating will do to their bodies and beat themselves up for it. The change of nutritional values during the last 50 years. People take in less fresh food and more saturated fat and sugar. The strong increase of industrial agriculture has led to the introduction of pesticides and, as a consequence, a change of animal feed and animals' body fat in general. For example, chicken. They reach their battle weight twice as fast and their amount of fat has risen from 2 to 22%. By the intake of saturated fatty acids, the achievement of the brain slows down. Ready-to-eat meals contain many saturated fatty acids. Today people eat 34% less vegetables and 2/3 less fish than 50 years ago. Nevertheless, both nutrients are the key sources of the healthy omega-3 fatty acids.
Now the next topic is nutrition and cancer risks. Fruits and vegetables probably protect us against several cancers, including mouth, stomach, lung, pancreas and prostate cancer. Foods which contain fiber, such as whole grain bread and pasta, oats, vegetables and fruits, are linked to a reduced risk of cancer, particularly to colorectal cancer. Also, linseeds are especially good against breast and intestinal cancer. Meat, fish, shellfish, cheese and eggs are the major source of animal proteins in most diets. Of those, red meat and processed meat are commonly regarded as risk factors, for example, stomach cancer. A study found out that milk protects against colorectal cancer, and there are limited evidence that milk protects against bladder cancer too. A recent study has also found out that diets high in calcium are a possible cause for prostate cancer.
Allergens. Allergens can be found in completely normal groceries. For people without allergies, they are harmless, but in certain people they can cause allergies. Since 2014, there have to be warnings on the packaging of food and also in restaurants. These warnings can help allergic people with their decisions on what to eat. These 14 allergens can arouse allergies: celery, cereals containing gluten, crustaceans, egg, fish, lupin, milk, mollusks, mustard, nuts, peanuts, sesame, soy, and sulfites.
Our last topic is food allergy. If you have a food allergy, the immune system of our body reacts to a particular food as if it was poisonous. Some people get a rash, cannot breathe anymore, or show other symptoms. The most allergic reactions are caused by milk, eggs, peanuts, nuts, shellfish, fish, and wheat. Thanks for your attention, and
We hope